me to a point again that we talk about quite a lot. The proposed Newcastle takeover. Now, Newcastle United possibly becoming the richest club in the world. What's your opinion on that? And leading into that, the next round of the FA Cup that's taking place at the end of this month is Newcastle versus Manchester City, which could become a very, very different game if there's a lot of money behind Newcastle.
Yeah, but listen, they're not going to be able to bring the players that they want in, even if this takeover is done and dusted, and be able to have them ready to play in a cup tie in, I don't know, 3 weeks' time or a month's time, whatever it is. They're not going to be able to do it. But the thing about it is, I think there's going to be some fight on the hands, because I think the owners have streaming abroad, which is against Football League, which is against the FAUA for streaming of football games. I think they've done it and are doing it, which goes against whether or not you are a fit and trusted owner, or whatever they call it. So I think they're going to be looking into it. But Newcastle, Newcastle and their fans will be hoping this goes through, because it enables them to have a wealth that only, the Uniteds, Cities, the big money men, PSG, the big money men have been afforded to be able to do it. So they will all of a sudden be able to go and buy or be able to bid for players that in the past was only a pipe dream. So it's not going to happen in 3 weeks, trust me. No. And if they do take over, it'll take 2 or 3 years before they get to a stage we can get the players in, because you can't just bring in players and expect everybody to gel in one go. No matter who you are, it takes time to build. And even when you've built, you're then up against some of the best teams, not only in the Premier League, but in Europe. So there's no given now. So, as one of your questions earlier, will anybody dominate? No, I don't see anybody dominating, because there's too many teams that can beat each other. And City had an unbelievable season a couple of years ago. Liverpool have had an unbelievable 2 seasons, but fell at the last hurdle last year. But this year, they've continued it. It's not going to happen again next year, I can assure you.
No. That's good for football, though, isn't it? From a neutral point of view, that's much, much better for football when the league is much more competitive, isn't it?
Well, it is. But again, when you say for football, it's only going to be competitive for half a dozen teams. It's not going to be competitive for the rest of them. It will be for about 6 or 7 teams that will be the 6 and 7 teams next year that were there this year, and maybe the odd one will try and creep into it. So for the rest of them, I mean, there's three sections in our league. You've got the top 6, middle 6, and then the bottom 6. I think it's 18 in our league. Is there 20? I can't remember. 20. But anyway, there's 3 different brackets, and the ones basically who are going to be fighting for the top 6. The ones that are not going to be looking over the shoulder too much. They'll be hoping to try and get into some sort of European place, 6th or 7th or something. Then there'll be the ones in that middle pack. They'll be looking over the shoulders all the time, and that's why, even though you're getting towards the end of a season, it looks as though some teams look as though they're doomed. There's always one that gets dragged into that relegation fight. And that's why, and with the amount of money that's on offer to stay in the Premier League this year, it's important that those teams play their games and have a chance of staying in that Premier League, because that's the Holy Grail.